In the 20th century, the United States found itself embroiled in one of the longest conflicts that the country had ever seen. Beginning with the Korean War in 1950 and ending in 1991 with the collapse of the Soviet Union, the Cold War would shape the direction and character of the American political scene. The increasing socialist influence in Africa, Latin America, Southeast Asia, and Eastern Europe put a lot of pressure on politicians in America to adjust to the rising influence of socialism on the world stage. This shift can be seen in both political parties and the direction of American politics as a whole. A good place to start when analyzing how the Cold War has shifted American politics is by analyzing the policies of the American government in the period between the end of the Second World War and the beginning of the Cold War. This gives us a baseline that we can start from. Let's begin with the New Deal policies, which characterized this era. The New Deal was a set of Keynesian economic policies instituted by FDR to deal with the Great Depression. This included loads of government spending on social safety nets, public works, and other projects. New Deal Keynesianism at the end of the war had been the preferred policy of the Democratic Party for the past decade, and these policies continued under Harry Truman, the president who followed the death of FDR. Truman attempted to expand the New Deal policies of FDR with attempted healthcare, welfare, and housing reform with his Fair Deal policies. While these policies had the potential to truly transform the American political landscape, they were mostly unsuccessful. One area in which Truman did have success, however, was with his desegregation policies. While full desegregation would take another 20 years, Truman was able to begin some of the first steps towards desegregation by ending segregation within the government. Executive Order 9981, for instance, ended segregation in the military. These moves began the shift of black voters away from the Republican Party and began to cement the Democratic Party as the party of African American voters. Additionally, on labor issues, Truman was seen as being a generally pro-labor president. In 1952, though, he was presented with a difficult decision when steelworkers went on strike due to economic hardships caused by the post-war recession. In response to the strike, Truman decided to nationalize the steel industry in order to stop the strike. This wouldn't last long, though, as the Supreme Court ruled that this nationalization was unconstitutional, as President Truman simply lacked the authority to do so. All in all, Truman's administration really failed to accomplish many of the goals which Truman had set out to get done, mostly due to obstruction by the conservative alliance of anti-New Deal Republicans and conservative Democrats. While this coalition was often a thorn in Truman's side, preventing reforms such as instituting universal health care, they were more than happy to support the American invasion of Korea. The Cold War had begun.